You look at the stock and maybe 0.7% lower can be considered pretty much flat, but how worrisome is the fact that you saw those softer iPhone revenue numbers?
Yeah, sorry to disappoint you, but we expected this to be a very boring quarter, and it came out this way. Plus or minus, a few basis points here and there is not going to make a difference. We really want to see what the next big phone is going to come out next month, and what that does in the December quarter is really what Apple is about right now. Last year, we saw some supply chain problems in China that led to the decline of unit shipments in that quarter, and I think they really need to get on a call and say they're not going to see any of that this year, and then there's going to be a good holiday season for them.
Yeah, overall, the product's revenue missing the mark here, $60.58 billion versus the consensus estimate of $60.67 billion. But Anurag, as we've been saying, the services revenue has reached a new all-time high. What is it that Apple is doing right when it comes to the App Store, the services? Or are these investments that were made in years past and are just now starting to really come to fruition?
I think you would always see with the case of Apple, because the ecosystem is so strong that when you buy a product, the recurring revenue stream has come from the services. So, for example, it doesn't matter. Next year, your iCloud storage is going to be far bigger than what it is this year. So you're going to buy a higher plan. If you're using Apple Pay, you're going to be using more digital payments over the next 12 months than you were doing before. Same thing for App Store. So you keep on going individual segment of services, and you will see that they will always outpace product growth over the next several years. So that's one growth story. The second big part is services have very high margin. They are 70% plus gross margins. Over time, it's going to help Apple's overall margin status also.
Yeah, and services definitely helping to offset that slump that we're seeing in the hardware business. I want to talk region by region, and I want to talk specifically about China, because you actually saw a little bit of a surprise there, Anurag. The China revenue coming in at $15.8 billion. That's a gain of about 7.9% from a year earlier. How important is that to the Apple story right now?
Yeah, China revenue is very important. It's about 20% of overall sales for Apple. And, our analysts in Asia think that China is going to be very strong this year because, as I said, last year, because of COVID, they did not sell that many phones there. And the rumor is that the Apple iPhone 15, the Pro Max model will have an unbelievable camera. And that really does help unit shipments in China more than any other region.